Good afternoon and welcome to Deja Vu Friday. It's like we've done this all before. And it's the new Link Friday. And we have a great show for you. Joe Silky is finishing up his assignment, whatever that means. But we have Mike Grief.
Yeah, baby, let me tell you something. I'm here, man. I'm here. Where else would I be? Fandango.
And we have Yoda, the guy who keeps this place running smooth, like the captain of the Titanic, Craig Mitchell.
Yeah. Hi.
He's got full of energy.
Hey, so man, we're the three amigos.
We have some good news. We are on Spotify now. You can watch us. You just download to your Fire Stick or to your Roku, and you can watch us as long as listen to us on your big screen TV. It works for everybody but me. And
your big screen TV. Are you kidding? This is the biggest screen I have, man. It's like
I know how to help you with that, John. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
You should tell people to search for the Big Bad Broadcast on YouTube, on Facebook, and also Spotify.
You got to remember,
on
John.
Our website, the www.thebbb.radio.com.
You got to remember, John's big TV, Craig. John's big TV is a fucking Sylvania superset.
You know, I know this isn't planned, but I was in Walmart yesterday, and you can buy a 75-inch Philips TV 4K smart TV for $628.
Or you can go on Deal Dash.
75
Deal Dash and get it for 32 cents.
Yeah, nobody ever got that on Deal Dash.
No,
I got this Lamborghini for $19.88.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is that true? I've never tried that shit. It's like same thing, right? I just got this freaking thing, this $1 million diamond for $30. And is that real? How did they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. DoorDash. I think you.
Not DoorDash.
That's Deal Dash.
Yeah, it would be better if it was DoorDash. You see the Lamborghini, you jump in it, and you dash.
I'm gonna start delivering weed. I'll call it weed stash or deal or something. Or
weed.
So anyway, it was a big week. We had 4th of July this weekend.
Happy 4th, everybody.
I'm missing all my fingers except this one. I just bad bottle rocket accident.
Who was that football player for the Giants that blew off his fingers a couple of years ago? He was a receiver.
They call him Knuckles.
He was a receiver. He badly damaged his fingers, and they said to him that he could either miss the season or have 3 of his fingers amputated, and he went for the amputation.
No, his name was Knuckles McGee.
Was that 2 Fingers Brown?
2 Fingers Brown.
I can't believe you guys don't know that. Craig, you're supposed to be the big sports guy.
I remember the story, but you know what? It's a Giant, so yawn.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got to tell you my cute little 4th of July story. When I was probably 10 years old, which would have made my cousin
during the Depression.
During the Depression.
Do you want some harmonica music with this?
We were waiting on the food line. Anyway, so my aunt was going to Florida, and my birthday is on June 9th. My cousin's is June 29th, and we begged her for our birthday, just bring us back fireworks because she was driving to Florida. So it's just kind of funny if you think about it, that we're convincing our aunt to do interstate smuggling. So anyway, she brought us back this big bag of fireworks, and my mother's like, nothing dangerous. So there was firecrackers. We had a mat of firecrackers each. We had bottle rockets and some kind of small rockets. Nothing like huge, but we couldn't wait. We got it in April, and we looked at that bag, man, for like months. We were like counting off the days on the calendar. We were so excited. Oh, we can't. So my cousin lived in Southampton. So it was the day, and all day long we wanted to shoot the stuff off. Their parents were like, you got to wait for it to get dark. Oh, please let us shoot off a couple of firecrackers. So we shot off a couple of firecrackers. So we get on the front lawn, we light a bottle rocket, it goes up, cop pulls in the driveway and takes everything.
Leaving us with nothing but those little snakes. Remember those
We
little
were-
things that light
We
them?
were literally crying. We were crying like someone took our dog. We were in the backyard.
You
and they
should
were
be
like,
crying. You ask your aunt to bring you fireworks. Come on, man. If you're gonna smuggle something back from Florida, it'd be weed or drugs or something, not
You didn't
fireworks.
see your aunt in the back of the cop car laughing her ass off, did you?
I'm going to see Pedro.
It was just, we were literally crying. We went in the backyard, and my father was just like, shook his head like, so we tell you that's why they're illegal. And I'm going, that's bull. I go, and he took them right home to his kids.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's just 4th of July.
yeah.
I love a good fireworks show, man, but I hate these little. Every neighbor's got to light off their stupid little. And all it does is make noise. It's like, or except there's a couple neighbors, and I know you got the same thing that have really. They spend God knows how many thousands of dollars on fire. These are the same people complaining about the price of gas. Just spend $5,000 on fireworks. Shut the fuck up.
Did
Do you have any stories from your 4th of July there, Mike?
Yeah, but I've had guns pulled on me twice on the 4th of July, and by the police, not by. I was
Mike
arrested.
knows how to party.
Well, listen, I grew up in, like I say, in the project, so I just remember we were lighting off, and it was stupid stuff. We put steel wool on a string.
Oh,
you light
yeah.
the steel
Yeah,
wool,
you spin
and
it
you
around.
spin it
Yeah.
around, and next thing I know, there's a cop standing there, and he goes, "Disperse." And I'm looking, I'm going, what the fuck does that mean? Disperse? What the hell? I mean, I don't think I'm 14 or 15. I mean, I knew what the word meant, but it was so weird to have him come up and just yell disperse instead of like freeze, stop, whatever. And so I'm looking at this cop, and I'm balled my hand in a fist, and my brother is standing next to me, and he just looks at me and goes, "Don't do it. Don't," because he knows me. At that time, I would have not thought twice about just the guy. So anyway, I get arrested. I go down to the precinct.
Well, then if you were getting arrested anyway, you should have hit him.
I should have, but it would have been another charge.
Then he'd still be in jail.
What
That's the
was the
problem.
charge? Lit steel wool on the end of a string?
Failure to disperse. It's like I really should have hit this guy, because it's like, I mean, if you can come up with such a stupid charge. So my father comes down to get me out, and I love it. This is the one time my father was just, I mean, you think I'm crazy. My father was just out there. And he walks into the precinct, and he's yelling
Because
and screaming
in
at
Florida,
the cops.
as we say, the citrus does not fall far from the tree.
Yes. My father's calling these, you chicken shit cowards, he's calling them every name. And I'm got to yell at him and go, "Hey, Pop, stop. Otherwise, they're going to put you in here with me." And then the other time, we're up on the
That
roof.
would have been a nice father-son bonding moment.
It would have been, my son always wanted to have a beer with me. I always wanted to get arrested with my dad. Me and Dad in a nice cell telling stories about. Did you
I
get
forgot
bologna?
all-
I got roast beef.
I forgot all about that steel wool on a string thing. That was really cool.
I never heard of that. What does it do?
You take
It
it
sparks.
and you throw it. It sparks, but it makes like a circle. It looks really
Yeah.
cool.
Where does it spark?
It
But
looks
steel
really cool. You
wool-
spin it around.
Just spinning it makes it.
It's on
Yeah,
a rope.
it's on
You put it on a string. You light it on fire, and then you
Oh,
spin
you
it. You
light it
let
on-
it hit, and you let it hit the ground on the downswing, and swing it around, and it just sparks, and it does look pretty cool,
It looks really cool. I forgot that we used to do that.
and
That
doesn't
must have
cost
been
a lot.
that must have been something our fathers told us. I don't remember.
Probably.
The only-
I remember any of my friends smart enough to come up with that.
The only 4th of July that I remember, I lived in East Meadow in Long Island.
You fancy ass Long Island boys.
It was, well, I'll tell you. And
That's where Joe Silkey's from. You know that, East Meadow.
I know he went to the Wilbur Clark High School,
Right.
but my street was separated by, they had two storage sumps on each side, and it was a little hill. And every 4th of July, Eisenhower Park, or back then Salisbury Park, would shoot off fireworks, and we just set up, lawn chairs on our front lawn, and we could see it. But one year it rained, and I was so upset because when it rained, there's no fireworks in the rain. So we had this built-in patio, and my dad let me do sparklers. By the way, that's all my parents would ever let me do was sparklers. And when you're 9, a sparkler is pretty cool. So
even when you're 9, a sparkler's not even cool when you're 9. Come on, Chris.
No, it was cool for me. I thought it was cool because I was a little whatever,
Mike,
little
Mike,
Fauntleroy.
what to Mike, 9 years old is cool when they give you a silencer.
He has guns.
I was fucking popping off shotguns when I was fucking 9. Come on.
Well, I'm on my patio. I'm on my
look,
porch.
everybody, I got sparklers. How cool. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Finish your story.
It's all right. I was just trying to finish the story 20 minutes. It's okay. So and it's
Let
going
me
to be
get more
so
about these cool sparklers.
now, it's not even to be fucking funny. So I'm on the porch enjoying my sparklers, and my brother just comes out and goes, "Huh, you look like Tinkerbell." That was the end of sparklers for me. No more.
And so it changed his life.
Yeah,
Craig realized.
And that's when it all started.
Sparklers. Hi,
Well,
everybody.
Joe Silky told me a story that he was going to tell. I'll tell it. He said that his Italian aunt and uncle lived next door. And he said they had a detached garage with a pretty slopey roof. And he said the neighbors across the street would set off all sorts of fireworks, and you could see the fireworks from Salisbury Park, right? Or Eisenhower Park. So the father used to put a ladder on the roof and put all the kids up on the roof.
Oh,
Joe goes,
shit.
I have no idea why. And he goes,
safe.
and it was steep slope on this roof. So they're all up there once, and this rocket goes haywire. It comes over and blows up right over the roof. And all the kids are like falling off the roof.
That's nice and
That
safe. Put the
explains a
kids
lot
up on a
with Joe.
sloped roof.
All right, so here's my ultimate 4th of July story. Well, Craig, you had fireworks are
Craig
getting
had
pretty
sparklers.
crazy.
Craig had sparklers.
They are crazy.
But he has a video of a guy that went full sparkler.
You never go
Are you
full
talking about my
sparkler.
video or your video,
Yeah,
John?
your video. Show
Yeah,
it first.
this one. Okay, I'll just play it.
That's what it looks like when I pee.
That's what it feels like when I pee.
I was thinking when I first saw that, I said, "It looks like the guy caught a space shuttle."
But you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy about that? When I was a kid, remember Roman candles? They tell you to light them and you shake them. And you always hear the story about the Roman candle that blew up in that guy's hand. That guy has like 20 pounds of gunpowder in that thing. I would never hold that thing.
That was the other time a cop pulled a gun on me. I was on the roof with a Roman candle, and the freaking cop comes up, and I got the Roman candle. I go to, naturally somebody yells something at you, you turn, and he pulls his gun out, and because he thought I was going to aim the Roman candle, he amazed how quickly you just drop the drop that Roman candle and peacefully go.
Why do they call it a Roman candle?
I must have been freaking invented by a Roman guy. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm just curious. I
It's
didn't know
the Italian guys, the Guacamole brothers.
Guacamole.
the Garibaldi brothers. Those guys.
What?
It
Come on.
was
somebody
first
look
invented
that
by Claudius in Rome in 18 whatever.
All right. So here's the story. I went every year. This agent, Tom and Genya, would have this big party, and all the comedians would go, and there's like Kevin James would be there. A lot of
We
really
love
big
Tom and
comedians.
Genio. He was a great guy.
And
Tom.
his wife Jerry's the doll. So I was there with Richie Minervini, who was the owner of the East Side Comedy Club, where everybody started. Judd Apatow, Eddie Murphy, Rosie O'Donnell, all of us. And so Jerry says, "Hey, I was in Chinatown, and this guy sold me a bag of fireworks." So we go, "What'd they sell you?" So we go into the bag. I swear to God, there was something that was this big. It was the size of a coconut and had a 5-foot fuse on it. And it said, warning, this firework is professional grade firework. Misuse of this product can cause death. And then Minervini goes, we're professional?
Yeah, that didn't stop you, did it?
So we tell everyone to get on the other side of the yard. We go into the garage. We get a pole digger because it's a mortar. And we dig this hole in the ground. And we put this mortar into the ground, which I guess it should have been in a pipe. And it's got this 5-foot fuse. So we light the fuse. Now, picture this is all people there with their families. And there's got to be 50 people there. Some are in the pool. Some are at the barbecue. Everyone's having a nice time sitting on blankets. Everybody's, it's just this really nice family experience. We light this thing. And we go, here it goes. We light this thing. and it blows up. It takes out about an 8-foot section of picket fence, which Tom claims he's never found since. With that, the stuff, like those beautiful fireworks in the sky, it's got those things that squiggle.
Yeah.
They're all over the yard. People are grabbing their kids and throwing their kids down. People are hiding behind the brick fire plant. People are running and diving in the pool. And it seemed like it probably went on for 2 minutes or a minute. I don't know. It seemed like 20 minutes. Kids were crying. Dogs were barking. It was horrible. And when it finally stopped, everyone didn't move for a couple of minutes because they thought it would start again. And when it ended, it was just kids crying and dogs barking and people cursing. And the whole backyard had so much smoke in it, we couldn't even assess how many people died. So I was on the internet yesterday. I found a video.
But wait, wasn't there a second one with the Tom's wife?
Oh yeah. So Richie, there's another one. It's a little bit smaller. Richie goes, well, this one won't be so big.
They actually let you light another one after that.
Jerry grabbed it out of his hand and chopped it up with a shovel. We're going, that's going to blow up. I forgot. I think she put it in a bucket of water when she was chopping.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But anyway, I found this video yesterday that really looks like happened in the backyard. So I'm not the only idiot. So
yeah, when you watch this video, listen to what they say. It's hilarious. Here we go.
Oh, it's going to be right there. You cannot stick it in the ground. It's not going to work.
Who did that?
Who did that?
Put it in the shoe.
Oh my God!
That's exactly like what happened.
I was waiting for Forrest Gump to jump up and go, and then something bit me in the buttocks.
And it goes right under the gas tank of the car too.
See how much smoke was in the backyard, like I was talking about?
This is what I'm saying. These local people, you fucking morons. It's like,
I mean, that is exactly to have a nice family picnic. They're all sitting at the table, and now they're all running for their lives.
There's that one guy. Run! You better run!
One minute you're taking a bite of hot dog, the next minute the Viet Cong are fucking coming down the road.
I'm telling you, that's what I said. It looked like. All I kept saying to Richie, I go, my God, it looked like the end of Apocalypse Now.
Shock and awe on Elm Street. That's what it.
Oh man.
Oh,
that video just gives me flashbacks, man. That's what it looks like.
Awesome.
Well, Patty has a friend who's a nurse, and she works the emergency room on the 4th of July. She said all night long, people are just coming in with fingers blowing off and whatever. I'll tell you what, I hey, fool me once, but you come in with this all every year I lose a finger.
But you get people. It's not even like. Because I worked in the emergency room in the Bronx and on Long Island, and it's not even what you think. It's not even like somebody. A lot of people, have firecrackers that go off in their hands, but you have idiots that have packs of firecrackers that go off in their pockets.
Jeez. Well, you work the emergency room in the Bronx. It's like fireworks or nothing. Guys are coming in with hatchets.
Bat Day at Yankee Stadium must have been busy too.
Yeah, Bat Day.
Bat Day was the worst day ever. And
I'm not
kidding.
All right.
I'm not kidding. Especially when they went to those little bats.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I love that day because once they went to the little bats, then now you can conceal them easier.
See, the Mets were smart. They did Bat Day and Helmet Day on the same day, so nobody got hurt.
What happened?
Look at Mets needed a helmet. You can need a helmet just to walk around.
The Mets need a small bus and some pads. That's what they need.
So when I worked in the emergency room in the Bronx, this is kind of a cool story. It was like my friend Tom and I, and there goes my voice again. My friend Tom and I worked. Mute your microphone.
Lou Gehrig speech. That's what it sounds like. Today.
What's that?
Mute your microphone 1 second. Let's see if it's coming.
Oh, me?
Yeah. It stopped already. It stopped.
Hold on.
All right.
Today.
Is it doing it now?
Hey, no, I don't hear
it.
I consider myself.
I think he's not wearing headphones. That's the problem. He's always worn headphones. Can you hear us, Craig?
Okay, I think it was me. Hold on.
Son
All right.
of a
So anyway, I'm working in the Bronx. I studied and went to school at Mercy Hospital on Long Island in
There's
Rockville
no mercy
Center.
in the Bronx.
Right. So my dad says to me, why don't you apply for this job? My dad was in radiology. Why don't you apply for this job at Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx? They're looking for 2 guys. They'll start you at, this is in 72. They'll start you out at $38,000 a year, full benefits. You work there for a year. After a year of working in there isn't nothing you wouldn't have seen. He goes, it's the best experience in the world. You'll come out of there. So we had been making like $30 a month stipend working at Mercy Hospital before you graduate. As like they say in Spinal Tap, a stipend is when it's too embarrassing to call it a paycheck.
Yeah.
So it was like $30. So we get there the first day, and my boss says to us, hey, you guys want to work a double tonight? He goes, you guys seem to know what you're doing. And we go, what is that? And he goes, well, it's time and a half and a day off. And we're like, yeah, right. Little do we know that once the sun goes down in the summer in the Bronx, it becomes like the Wild West.
They don't call it the
right?
Bronx Zoo for nothing, man.
So we saw 70 patients between 4 o'clock and about 9 o'clock at night, right? Your typical gunshot wounds,
Oh my God.
stuff like that. So
It's like a
we're
MASH
sitting-
unit, right?
yeah, so we're sitting in the hallway. This is a great story. We're sitting in the hallway. We're like, oh God, man, this is it. It's like, how many more hours till we can get out of here, you know? And in those old hospitals, they always had those ripply glass doors with the chicken wire in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking? Like those old hospital doors.
Those rectangular,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah. I know. I put my hand through one of those once.
So we're sitting in the hallway, and about 200 feet from where we're sitting, it just shatters. And there's a guy with a sawed-off shotgun ripping the chicken wire out of the thing, and he goes, this hospital killed my brother. Now everyone will die.
Oh shit!
And we go, what? We run into the
Funny thing is
just
he
like
didn't
that.
even like his brother.
Just like that. What? Like a girl. I became a woman. What? We ran into. I go to my friend Bob. I go, get in the dark room. It's lead lined. We get in the dark room. We lock up the door. And we call security. And security in the Bronx isn't like security in this hospital. These guys were like ex-Green Berets, right? So about 10 minutes later, they rap on the door. Hey, security, you guys can come out. My friend goes, what if it's the guy? And I go, yeah, you're right. I'm not going out of here. And I go, no. The guy goes, what are you, babies going to stay there all night long? And we go, yeah. So my friend goes, take your badge and put it in the pass box so you can pass it through. Because the dark room, they put a film in there and it shuts from both sides so you don't get light in there. So we open it up and oh, God forbid, it's the guy's badge. For 3 years later, every time we'd see him, we were going, hey, put your badge in the pass box. Yeah, babies.
I gotta tell you, man. One 4th of July, those sparklers gave me little burns all over my wrist. So I was pretty serious.
It's dangerous stuff right there.
I know, and especially if you lick it.
The end of the story was about a half hour later, we get the guy back. We got to do skulls and facial bones because they beat the shit out of him.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you weren't done.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, that was like my horrific first day at work story. My dad's like, how'd it go? I go, yeah, I just got killed.
That story is actually a pretty good segue into our funny story, news story.
Yeah. What you got, Craig?
Me first? Really?
Well, you mentioned
I get to go first?
Yeah.
Well, I saw this story, and this is, you know what? Involves x-rays. How about that? A story about a guy in Turkey complained of severe stomach problems. All right. And so he goes to the hospital and they x-ray him. And wouldn't you know, they found 233 pieces of metal in his stomach. And this is what they took out of his stomach. And several of those nails actually went through his stomach lining.
Was that a hypodermic needle in there too?
I guess so. Everything on that table they found in his stomach.
And see,
Really?
the funny thing is that his wife just used to feed him meatloaf all the time, so he just didn't. Did he mention that when he went to the emergency room? You know, you might find some metal because I've been eating coins for years now. Nails.
Was there any explanation of why he ate all his metal?
Yeah, they said he wanted to change.
Oh,
Middle
pun number
iron
one
in
for
his
the day.
diet.
No, but here's the guy. Actually, I got a picture of the guy. If I can bring that up, let's see. Is this him? There he
Meanwhile,
is.
this guy's eating this stuff. Oh yeah, there you go. Like I recognize that guy anywhere.
Meanwhile,
He's blurred out because he's a little embarrassed.
Meanwhile, he'd swallow $1 and shoot.
No, I love it. Here he is eating all that shit, and he's still alive. And they're telling me I got to fucking cut down on my cholesterol. I got to cut down. It's like, you know, this guy's still alive after he's eating nails.
Well, I think that's keto diet.
I just started
No
it again.
carbs. There's no carbs.
Yeah,
High in
that
iron.
would be
Iron.
keto right there. Yeah.
Pun number 2.
I'm ready to go. I nailed it. There's
You nailed
3.
it.
I can do it
3.
again. Hey, stop needling me. There's 4. Here we go.
Hey,
All right.
That's not a good joke that he used to eat dollar bills and that would come out his ass.
that's it.
They also found rocks too.
Nice.
There's 4 rocks.
There's rocks in the picture. It looks like.
And there's
Yeah.
bolts.
Although at the top it looks
And
like an Allen
batteries.
wrench. It looks like
Have
an
you ever-
Allen wrench in case his bowels loosen up. There you go.
He
He's
also
got
had,
an Allen wrench in
he
there.
had batteries too, man.
Batteries.
Batteries are bad for you.
Yeah, but the nails are okay.
No
but it's
wonder
the
why he
batteries
wound up-
you draw the
I wonder
line.
why he wound up in the emergency room. Fucking idiot ate a battery.
Did you ever read in the Guinness Book World Record there are people trying to eat an entire car?
Yeah.
They
Oh, they
grind
did
it
that on
up.
MASH.
They grind it up.
Klinger did that on MASH, right? Or was it
Yeah, he
Hawkeye?
ate a
One of
Jeep.
them.
He tried to eat a Jeep.
Jeep, yeah.
But I mean, that's true. You look it up. These guys in the Guinness Book World Record, they try to eat a car. They grind it up and they eat like 3 or 4 ounces of metal a day. It's like, why?
I don't
We
know.
live in a strange. Well, is this current?
That would have been funny if that guy went into a hospital today because you got to walk through that magnetometer. He would have stuck to the wall.
I don't know why I never make it through security at the airport. I just
No, or how about this? Hey, anybody got 50 cents for a soda? Yeah, hold on.
yeah. Reach up my ass. There you go. There's a quarter right there.
Half a dollar.
I mean, that's crazy.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he was a Macarena expert.
He was a what?
Macarena expert.
Macarena. That's a dance.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that got to do
Dollar.
Oh, I got
with? Oh, do you get tipped?
No,
By the
no.
way-
At the song, it goes, oh, Macarena. It goes, dollar. Right?
Is that what they're saying? I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard that before.
I only know. Here's my part. No matter. Baba da ba da Macarena. I don't know any of the other words.
That's all I know too. And you do this.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Hey, Macarena.
Hey, all right. Yeah, I don't know about the dollar, John. I think you were at a
Maybe
strip.
that's another song they do on the cruise.
Yeah, you're at a strip club, I think.
Dollar.
Dollar.
Did you ever go to a strip club where I went to a strip club in Florida, and the dancers had Scotch tape over their nipples, so you could see
so
their
they don't lose
nipples.
them. So they don't lose
They
them.
don't lose them.
No, but I asked why they did that, and they said because in
Hold
Florida,
on, I got a nipple falling off. You got any tape, honey? Come here. All right.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have any nipple clamps.
Because in
Thank
Florida-
you.
In Florida, they have to wear something over their nipples.
They have to. Your nipples have to be covered, and technically, using Scotch tape means they're covered.
I was on the road once in Ohio, and we went to a strip club, and the girls were so ugly that we had to watch The Shadows.
I went to a
God's
strip
honest
club.
truth.
I went to a strip club in South Florida where they were so stupid they used electrician's tape over their nipples, so it didn't really,
Well, it's not
Oh man!
good. Yeah,
So,
duct
Mike,
tape.
you got a story?
You got a story, Mike? What's a story?
You know, I looked around, and this one takes place in Florida of all places.
Florida.
With
Shocking.
all, no, it's let me just see, because I it's so stupid. I wrote it down. It's about there's not there. It's about snails, freaking giant snails. Giant invasive snail sends one Florida county into quarantine. Like in Florida, They don't even quarantine. They won't wear masks. They won't take a vaccine, but they're quarantining because of freaking snails.
And you know what? And you know what? You know what the police chief said?
What?
It all happened so fast.
Oh man, that was my joke.
And he left a trail. I just thought that was the stupidest thing because it's like they're quarantining because of friggin' some giant invasive snail.
How big are these fucking snails?
How big a snail was?
Well, let's see if they say.
I mean, did they probably start? Did this start at the Shell station?
It's the giant African snail, commonly referred to as gals. It doesn't say
what they called.
Gals?
Well, giant African, GALS, gals.
Big gals.
You know, there's
wait, it says it's roughly the size of an adult hand. So for that's actually for me and Craig. That's I mean, if Joe was here,
we're ham-handed. So
yeah. But so what? I mean, what, you have to lock the kids up because there's like a snail you could run over with your car?
I would collect them and bring them to a French restaurant. That's what I would do. There you
go. Put some butter on them.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving you can give this out now. There you go.
Matter of fact, send it to the guy who eats metal. Maybe he'd be, friggin' give his stomach a break.
Giant snails.
I just thought that was the stupidest thing. It's like, okay, I get it. There's these giant. Well, I've seen. I forget where it is, but it's some tropical island where the crabs take over once a year. I've seen that. There's like millions and millions of these. That. You've actually been there.
I've seen it. Not where you're talking about, but it's. Some of the islands have that anyway at that certain time of the year, and they're like this big, and they don't come out of the ocean; they come out of the ground.
Yeah, they come out of the ground. That's what's scared of them, and they walk sideways. It's like I'd be terrified of it. I mean, it's bad enough something coming right at you, but if it's coming right at you sideways, that's kind of creepy.
We pulled into this rainforest once, and all of a sudden the guy goes, "Look out the window!" And there was, as soon as we pulled in, hundreds of them started coming out of the ground, like coming towards you. It was
crazy. I mean, can you eat them?
Well, so what was that, an island?
Yeah.
Well, also Penn Station, man. You sit in some of those toilet seats, the crabs take over. I'm telling you, man. It happened to me. It was a toilet seat. I swear to God.
No, I swear I got it.
I actually heard somebody say this once. I got in the cab, and the guy said to the driver, "Is there a beach on this island?"
Okay.
Maybe he meant beach.
Okay, I got one. A Michigan judge ordered parents who trashed his son's porno collection to pay him $30,000.
About fucking time.
Wait a minute. So they valued his porn collection at $30,000?
All right. It says, over the years, 38-year-old David Working, should be wanking, curated an impressive collection of DVDs and VHS tapes.
Oh, I was going to say.
While they could be described as a movie buff, the horde of antiquated formats is considered a porn, but when his parents threw it away, he left it in their basement. He ended up suing them. While Beth and Paul Wanking loved their son, the couple was fed up with the extensive library.
Where's Greg go?
Sorry, I was getting excited.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
I thought the crab story would have got you excited.
The parents, fed up with his extensive library of lust, was not a matter of a few magazines and films, but a trove of 400 cassettes, 16,000 DVDs, along with a litany of sex toys.
Yeah, but every single one of those movies was only watched for like 3 minutes.
And this guy was the coolest 8-year-old on the block.
Wanking divorced his wife in 2016 and subsequently sought refuge back home with his parents in Grand Haven, Michigan for 10 months before he moved to Indiana. It was then he noticed dozens of boxes of porn worth $25,000
and new wallpaper,
and sued his parents for surprisingly destroying it during his stay.
And a black light.
I do not possess your pornography. It is gone, his father said. It's either been destroyed or disposed of. I may well have missed a few items here and there in your possession, but at this point, I don't have it. Ditto to your sex toys and your other smutty magazines. Remarkably, David Wicking bought the matter in front of a court, claiming that most of his collection was irreplaceable because the films were either out of print or had been made by studios that no longer exist. And in August, U.S. District Judge Paul Mahoney ruled and Wanking's parents owed him $30,441 for destroying his personal property. Making matters all more hilarious, Maloney also ruled that the Wankings must pay their son $14,500 in legal fees.
Emotional damage.
Is that amazing?
No, that's not amazing. That's fucking disgusting. I mean, like, first of all, what porn is actually collectible? It's like, it's not, we're not talking about comic books here. Stan Lee's rolling over in his fucking grave. He's going, I created art. Jesus Christ, $30,000 worth of porn. I was gonna be like, that's a lot of dildos.
You know, I keep on thinking this is a joke that they actually did in Two and a Half Men, but I was thinking of this guy's bedroom. You go in there with a black light, like they did that in Charlie Sheen's bedroom in the show. They go the black light, goes, oh my god, it looks like a Jackson Pollock painting, you know, that kind of thing. But that's a, you know, no one. All you can say is $34,000 worth of pornography and his marriage failed. How do you explain that?
Yeah, I can't figure that out.
I think it happened after. Well, he was a connoisseur. He was a collector.
A connoisseur, yeah.
He was a collector.
It's not pronounced connoisseur.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? This is not one of my stories. But I did read this. But this is kind of connected. There was a guy who was arrested on child porn. Now, this is true. He was arrested for child porn charges, and do we
know him?
No. And he had 58 terabytes of child.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry.
Now,
you don't even go to jail.
Just so you know, 58,000 terabytes.
Yeah, you go
which
right
means
to the electric chair.
Your hard drive on your computer has 1 terabyte. They said they figured it out. It was 700.
Not even all computers even have 1 terabyte. That's like a pretty big.
They said they figured it out. It was 719,000 hours of pornography.
Jeez.
And now, and they stripped him of his sandwich shop, and now he's in jail. Which
The sandwich.
Football, Jared, you know, fucking Subway.
Yeah, and oh my god! I mean,
I don't even notice that fucking Jared goes to jail, and the price of Subway sandwiches went through the roof. What does Subway have to pay his like friggin' his court fees and all that shit? Used to be $5 footlongs. Now they're like $7-8. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
It's terrible. Subway's is terrible.
I don't like Subway. Subway, you know, go to the Long Island Deli. That's
go
a
to
hero.
Publix in Florida.
Oh, really? It's good.
Yeah, it's good. They have boar's head, everything.
Yeah, well, we used to have that here at Ralph's, but Ralph's by me went out of business, so I don't know if there's.
Wow, really?
Yeah, there's no Ralph's up here.
Well, you go to the Gelson's deli.
There's no Gelson's here either.
Oh, the Gelson's, the deli is amazing. It's really expensive, but I'll tell you how good it is. I was getting soup from my mom there once, and Harrison Ford was ordering next to me. So it's got to be good.
He was getting himself a Wookiee sandwich.
I'll have a chewy sandwich.
I want the Popeye. Gee, Uncle Popeye.
Anybody else got any stories?
I have another one, but
let's hear your other one.
All right, this one is a little political. Okay, it's a lot political, but according to a published report, Vladimir Putin has
said,
him
writing Trump.
That's him writing Trump. No, it's not Trump. It's way too thin to be Trump.
It's not Brokeback Mountain.
No, he basically said that no Western leader.
Okay, make it smaller.
Could go shirtless
anymore.
No, I'm just saying, no Western leader could go shirtless. They would all be embarrassed. But you know, because he's very proud of his physique.
I think Obama's in probably better shape than he.
You
is.
think? What do you think? I don't know. What do you think?
I think Obama is probably
Yeah.
I
mean,
that's like 007 right there. Obama.
I know.
Double Obama.
That's a basketball body.
Yeah, he said any Western leader. So I'm like, okay, how about this? There you go. Hold on, it's coming up right now. Yeah, Justin Trudeau. What about him? I think he can hold up.
Did you get these out of one of your little magazines?
Stop. It was one of the 58,000 terabytes.
It's part of his collection.
Did you buy some of that collection at an Ohio garage sale?
No, but here's of course the antithesis. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that
Oh.
without a shirt on. Yeah,
there you
okay.
go.
I
That's a
think
pretty good picture, and that's when he was fit. You gotta wear baggy pants to cover your diaper.
yeah. And that's actually a shish kebab skewer he's holding, not a golf club.
Yeah, that's when he picks up his hamburgers with. Get his
Right.
hamburgers.
Oh my god!
But come on. I mean, Putin. I don't know.
Vlad. Oh,
Well, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, that they could have been a great ally to us.
Yeah. Well,
Marjorie Taylor Greene is out of her fucking mind. I'll say it.
I know. I got another one. Have you got one, Mike?
my other one was just about it's like I said, I couldn't find any. It's just a celebration for I think she's the oldest stewardess. I think she's 86 years old and still working as a stewardess. Takes a long time to get your Diet Coke, but
or as Adam Leslie says, she's a waitress with a death wish.
Coffee, tea, or oxygen.
Well, you know what? It's funny. If you ever fly on Virgin Air, they have really beautiful stewardesses.
You know what's good on Virgin Air? The Mile High Club. Virgin Air. Hey.
But
does the Mile High Club count if you're alone? Just curious.
Yeah.
I'm holding up a hand too.
Those, I mean, that's probably typical for a flight attendant on a lot of airlines.
I think it's a difficult job, especially these days with people yelling and screaming and, just losing their minds on flights. You couldn't pay me to be a freaking deal with the public. I wouldn't want any job that I'd have to really deal with the public. Matter of fact, when I get back on the stage, I'm waiting for somebody to yell something while I'm doing my act or something like that. I'm just going to go in the audience and kick them in the face. I'm not going to freaking come back with any witty thing or anything like that. I'm just going to go right up to them and just kick them right in the fucking face. And I bet you no more hecklers after that.
Mike, you used to be a limo driver, right?
I did. Yeah, I drove limos for a while.
I mean, when I drive rideshare, I don't get a lot, but sometimes you get these people that you really just have to keep your mouth shut and just wait for the 42 minutes of this ride to be friggin' over. I wonder how you would react today.
It's like going to a barbecue at my family's house.
I was lucky because most of the time, and you're in LA, and most of the people I drove or my company were in show business one way or another. And the beautiful thing is most of these people are snobs. They get in the back. They don't want to talk to you, and that's fine with me, But a few of the celebrities that I drove were very nice. And actually, I had one guy who I drove a few times, and he introduced himself. He said, if we're going to be, I think because they can request you. Like once they get somebody they like, they can request you. So it's like, but I'll tell you the truth, man. It wasn't terrible. I got a $400 tip one day.
Wow.
Jesus. Is that from Jared from Subway?
No, believe it or not, it was from these people were like real estate, whatever. I took them to a concert in Temecula, and so we get there, and she hands me $100, and she says, if you want to buy a ticket and come in, feel free. If not, keep the 100. I said, okay, boom, free tip. So then they come out and they got a couple of cases of wine. It was in a winery. I put the wine in the trunk. I take one home and I help her to the door. She hands me $100 tip. Wow. And then I take the second one home, and she's got 2 cases of wine account, and she hands me another $200. I'm like, fucking $400 tip. And that's just the tip. I was getting paid anyway. I know who was famous, though, for really Drew Carey was one of our clients. And everyone always said he would tip like $300-$400 every time. So you had to get in with the dispatcher because those son of a bitches knew. So they'd only give them to their favorite drivers. So I never got Drew Carey because I was never their favorite driver, but people would fight.
Drew Carey did one of the coolest things about, I guess now it's maybe 10 years ago when they had the writers' strike. Remember the Writers Guild went on strike?
Sure.
Drew Carey went to the Bob's Big Boy in Burbank.
Yeah, he used to hang out there, man. He bought me breakfast there a couple of times.
And he said, anybody who comes in and shows a WGA card eats for free on me.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest things I ever saw.
Well, he's just a nice guy because I did an episode of the Drew Carey show, but not only that, he was friends with member Monty Hoffman. They had done a show called The Good Life years before. So I'd hang out with Monty. We'd go to Bob's Big Boy, and if Drew was there, he'd always call us over. we'd eat breakfast with him, and he'd pay for it every time. He was just a great guy.
I wonder if Drew still goes. I wonder if he's too big to go there now.
I
Sorry,
did that
John.
special with him in Acapulco where we were
That's
the big
right.
enchiladas. And everyone we decided footwear was optional with our flowered shirts and shorts. And he wore wingtips, knee-high black socks with garters. It was hysterical. It was hysterical. He walks out on stage. I remember his opening line. He goes, "Guess what country I'm from?"
Drew's always been hilarious. I was watching an episode of The Price is Right, and this woman, they call the woman down. She comes screaming. I mean, they're always screaming, and she gets to the podium. She goes and she looks at Drew and she goes, "Oh my God!" And he goes, "Call me Drew." I thought it was really funny.
That's like the joke I do in my show when they go, "Oh my God!" And I go, "No, don't let the beard fool you."
Don't let the beard fool
Don't let the beard fool you.
All right, I got one that's kind of funny.
Let's
This
hear it.
Belgium farmer, right? This Belgium farmer had this stone on two parts of his property that weighed like 300 pounds. And he decided, I can't really cut the lawn or plow the fields, so I'm just going to get rid of the stones. So apparently they were put there in 1820. They separated France from Belgium.
Wow.
Napoleon had put them in.
What?
That's wild. So it was a wall. It was a little
country.
demarc-
No. It was the country marker.
The border.
These 300-pound stones.
And he took it out?
Well, he didn't know what they were. He just got rid of them. And it's caused this big international incident where people are saying, well, we got to know, there could be a whole big problem with, and he's going, hey, I just moved them because I can't get my tractor in there.
Yeah.
So they had that big hearing and everything, and he was ordered to put him back. But there was like weeks where they were like going crazy, both countries.
Where nobody knew where the border was. Oh my God. Like anyone cared the day before. Nobody gave a shit.
Wouldn't
Where's the
GPS
border?
tell you?
You see where my cow just took a shit? That's where the border is.
Fortunately,
Right?
Wouldn't GPS tell you where the border is?
Right?
Here's what it said. He had no idea that the border stones had been placed there following the defeat of Napoleon or served as a geographical marker. He had anticipated the international fiasco. He did not anticipate the international fiasco his action would spawn after local history buffs noticed he moved them, is what he did.
Well, where are they now?
He moved them. No, he moved them away from them. So he changed the border of the country.
Oh,
in other words, he moved them like 15 feet forward.
I'm in Belgium. I'm in France. I'm in Belgium. I'm in France.
Somebody tell the Ukraine how to do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like he goes, I just want to get my tractor by.
So did he dispose of the stones, or he just moved
them? No, he just moved them 15 feet forward.
How do you dispose of 300-pound stones, man? I mean,
he moved them 15 feet forward.
So move them. So say sorry, my bad. Move them 15 feet back, and you're over.
But at the time, it was like I don't know what country it was. We're screaming that he changed the border. He's giving them more land than they own.
You chocolate-eating bastards!
That's
really.
I know. Anyway, no, there is no. Are there any border walls actually anymore?
He said. It says the man had It says the man unwittingly expanded Belgium's territory by 10,000 square feet.
Wow!
What a boon! That's a big deal.
What a boon for Belgium.
Can we do that to Texas? Make it really like smaller than Rhode Island. Can we do that somehow? What can we move?
He built the wall out of waffles.
You ever drive through Texas, man? I've driven. Texas is like a bad comedian. It just keeps going and going and going.
No, I drove northern. I went to Nebraska.
I had a job once in Texas where it was Sul Ross University. And so when I got to the airport, I had to fly into Midland, Odessa. And when I got there, I went to the car rental place. They only rented Hondas. And I go, why are there only Hondas? And he goes, well, because there's not a lot of gas around here. You're going to need the mileage.
In Texas, I got to go to a lot of gas?
Yeah, well, because when you see this place, there's nothing around. So I said, well, I have to go to Midland, Odessa, Sul Ross University. And the guy goes, yeah. All right, you're gonna leave here. You're gonna drive about 1.5 miles. There'll be a huge rock.
A big old rock.
He goes, you got to make sure you got gas.
And you're in Norway because the guy moved it there.
He goes, you got to make sure you got gas because you're not going to see another human being for about 180 miles. And let me tell you something. I was never that alone in my life in a car. It was a straight road. That
You've never taken the ride to the desert with a body in the back. That's a pretty lonely drive.
That's lonely.
But I started having an anxiety attack. I looked down at one point. I was doing 105 because I just wanted to get it over with.
I did that
I didn't pass one person the entire day.
You see the way you look at it. It's like to you that was lonely. To other people that would be a beautifully serene,
No.
How long ago was it, John? How long ago?
What?
How long ago?
It was probably like 90s.
Did you have a cell phone?
No, you wouldn't have had.
Yeah, without a cell
anyway.
phone, that'd be pretty fucked up.
You don't have any service anyway. I don't think.
That's right. There's no cell towers.
So I get to the college, right? And I go to the guy. I said, wow. I go, I made it, And he's like, yeah. He goes, you're going to have a great time tonight for the show. And at the time, they were paying like $1,000 for
I was going to thought you were going to say they paid you in gas.
So I go to the guy. I go, how many people do you think we'll get for the show? He goes, we get 10% of the student body here. He goes, that's a home run. I go, how many people go to school here? He goes, 300. And I was like, what? And
30 people?
30 people's a home run.
We got 45 people, and he was thrilled.
Hey,
the next morning, I had to drive back, and it was dark. And I got on the road, and there was a truck in front of me. And I was like, oh, thank God. The truck went about 1 mile and pulled off the road and went to sleep. And I was all alone again. I hated it.
Driving through Nebraska was like that. There was just miles and miles and miles, and it was just corn.
Just flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah also.
Have you ever driven? I've driven across country 5 times.
Wow.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I've done it. I did it. And there are stretches of this country that are just miles and miles and miles.
Nebraska,
nothing.
Colorado,
but
Utah,
Arizona. On this road, you saw not another human being, gas station, little town, nothing for 180 miles. That's a long time.
Yep. Actually, that sounds pretty, like I said, it sounds lonely to some people. To me, it sounds serene and nice. A lot of little.
That's the weird thing about California, because sometimes I'll go out into the desert. Sometimes I'll go out beyond San Bernardino, and it feels like that, like you're all alone. And then you come across a little going out to where you live, Mike. I'm not going to say the name of the city, but some of it's really barren before you get there. You're like, does anybody live around here?
Yeah.
All I saw was those big, what do they call them? The big turbines.
Oh, the
big
windmills. The cancer-causing windmills.
The ones that cause brain cancer.
Well, you know what? On halfway when I'm driving around, I'm not far from that from the Vasquez Rocks, which is a very famous area.
I've been there.
It's where they film any outer space friggin' scene, like whatever, like Star Trek when they did that.
Oh yeah.
And Paul, the movie Paul, is like whatever. They film a lot of stuff there. So it's like, and I'm guessing years ago that must have been a lonely destination, but now there's plenty of people around.
You gotta watch out for the Gorn.
The Gorn, yes.
Yeah,
you guys ever watch? Not to change the subject completely, but I was thinking about. I did. Did you guys ever watch the show The Wire?
No.
So I've been reading all this stuff about how The Wire is the best TV show that was ever made. And
I don't know. I haven't watched it. So.
I started watching it last night. It's really good.
You know what I've been watching that I really like? I've been watching The Old Man with Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I've been watching that. Yeah,
I've been digging that. That's a pretty cool show.
Yeah, good.
Did anybody watch Game Change?
No, it's on the list.
What is that one?
It's good. That's the one about Sarah Palin and John McCain in the 2008 election. It's great.
Oh, where is that? On
I can't think of her name. It's on HBO Max, and it's what's her name? Juliana Moore plays Palin. She's brilliant.
Really?
And Ed Harris plays McCain. They're all great. But try The Offer.
Ed Harris is one of the best actors around. Yeah.
He's amazing.
The Wire is on HBO Max.
See, I like
Right.
weird stuff. I mean, like, have you watched the show called The Peacemaker with what's his name, John Cena?
I can't get
He's like
into it.
he's one of the guys from Suicide Squad. The piece, it's just so
I know.
weird and so strange. I
I
fucking
love
love
the
it.
Suicide Squad.
So, but what? Then
So
you'll like
funny.
you'll like Peacemaker, man. It's only one. It's one season so far. I'm waiting for another.
I think I'm
season,
getting
hopefully,
burnt out
but
on
it's-
superhero stuff finally because I started to watch and I went, yeah, okay. You know
You know what
You
movie
wanna
was
see some-
great? Deadpool. The two
I love
Deadpool
Deadpool
movies.
1 and 2.
Very funny. I mean, I had no idea. You know what I mean? I had
Never
Deadpool.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I had Deadpool 2 as a screener for years, since it came out, but I had never seen 1, and I didn't want to see it. But I was on a plane recently, and they had 1,
Oh,
and
it's
I
so
got to watch it, and I was like, "This is really funny."
Oh,
Man.
Deadpool's
it's
hilarious.
great.
You know what's funny though? I don't remember. I mean, maybe it came out after but as a kid, I don't remember Deadpool as a comic.
don't
I do,
either.
but I didn't read it. I didn't read
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I
I
didn't
did
realize it was a comic.
Was it?
I didn't
from
like
back in the
funny comics.
70s?
80s, 70s, 80s.
That's probably why I probably stopped reading comic books in the.
Yeah, I didn't like funny
70s.
spins on superheroes. I don't know why, but then again,
They all had funny spins. Spider-Man, every superhero had some kind of funny spin.
You
my
guys-
favorite funny superhero was Blue Devil. Blue
Never
Devil
even
was
heard
the
of him.
front man who was in a mechanized suit, made him look like an 8-foot Blue Devil. And he pisses off a gypsy, and she casts a spell that permanently fuses him into the costume. And he thinks
Never
he's a
even heard of
superhero.
that character, man. You've
You know,
always
It's
said
like 20 issues. It's
You know,
great.
when I was in high school, my friend and I, we had our own comic book that came out every month. I can't
Yeah.
find any of them. I'm not lying. It was called Half Man. Hampered by a few physical handicaps. Blind, crippled, and crazy.
And what was his superpowers?
He went around on one of those carts. And he,
It's like-
he couldn't,
That's like
he couldn't do
ambush.
anything. They couldn't do anything.
It's
They
like
would
Eddie
bring him in.
Murphy in
Yeah.
Trading Places.
But we used to just love the beginning of it. This is the adventures of Half Man, hampered by a few physical handicaps,
Oh, my God.
blind, crippled, and crazy.
Well, here, so Craig, what was your favorite Marvel? We don't even have to go Marvel. Favorite superhero back when you were a kid, not now.
Well, it's tough. It's really close. But I have to say Spider-Man. I love Batman, but
Yeah.
the thing about Spider-Man is he's human, and that's the whole
I
thing about
love
the.
As a
Spider-Man.
kid,
I
too,
love
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. too.
This is what sold me on Spider-Man. He was sneaking up on these guys, but he had a cold, and Aunt May is giving him chicken soup, and I got to go out and fight crime. And he's on the roof. He's about to attack these guys, and he sneezes. They go, "There he is!" And they start shooting at him. And I thought,
They
that's
used
like
that in one of the
something I would
movies.
do.
They used
Yeah.
that in one of the movies.
They did.
My
And I love-
favorite. I love Spider-Man, but because he was not only that, but he was like an innocent teenage kid, and there was so much responsibility on him as a crime fighter. And here he is, just a kid, like we were kids reading a comic book.
And it
But
was funny. And it was funny.
Yeah,
I have to
Spider-Man
say though,
was
my
funny.
favorite though was the Hulk. I always liked the Hulk because he reminded me of me, just mindless rage and fury.
And who was my favorite? Can you guess?
Who I'm guessing your favorite was probably
Santana, Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange.
Silver Surfer.
Silver. There you
Oh,
go. Silver Surfer.
I'm thinking all the magic ones.
I was always Spider-Man for years till Silver Surfer. came
You
around.
don't like Doctor Strange? He's a wizard.
Well, also one of my favorite was
I wasn't a
the
wizard
was
back
Ghost Rider, of course, because he rode a motorcycle
and his head was on
Yeah.
fire.
and his head was on fire. His skull. I love. Matter of fact, my first tattoo was supposed to be the Ghost Rider. I go into this guy's Bronx in his living room in the Bronx because tattoos were illegal in the city. Here's this guy. He's got a Harley inside his apartment in the Bronx on the Grand Concourse on the first floor that I guess he rode in because he didn't want to leave it on the street. It's dripping oil in his living room. He's got his girlfriend who he brought back from Vietnam serving us
Right.
drinks and beers.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm showing him the Ghost Rider saying, "Yeah, I want the Ghost Rider on my arm over here." And he just looked at me and goes, "No, you don't want that." And I go, "Yeah, no, I do." He goes, No. He goes, "You don't want a comic book on your arm, kid." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe you're right." He goes, So he created its own version of different, but it's just it's the Grim Reaper on a Harley riding through clouds and stuff. He gave me an original version. He didn't want to put the Ghost Rider because he said there was and he was right at the time. comic books weren't what they are now. It wasn't this big accepted, like it looked juvenile.
Do you guys remember the head shop comic books?
No.
I remember
No.
head shops.
Not all, hippie. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Remember Zap comic books?
Yes. I
I have
remember.
I have every issue.
Didn't what was that guy's name?
R. Crumb.
Crumb, yes, Crumb. They made a movie about
That's
him,
where-
man.
Oh,
You know, it's
that
funny.
guy.
I have issue 0, which was
Wow,
printed in
that's
his
probably
garage.
worth a lot of money.
Was printed in his garage, only 5,000 copies.
I think he's still alive. They made a movie about him a couple
Yeah,
of years.
he was just inducted as one of the great American artists.
All right,
Remember-
guys. I'm putting us in the position.
Now, did he do Fritz the Cat?
Did Fritz the Cat? He did the Keep on Trucking guy.
Keep on trucking. He did the coolest shit.
Ralph Bashki did Fritz the Cat too. He did it with Ralph Bashki.
But it was original. He did.
I think Craig's trying to tell us something. He put us in the
Yeah,
position.
I put us in the position to let
He
you know
did-
we're time
he
to wrap
did-
it up.
He did the big series, Captain Pisgums meets Ruby of the Dykes.
Captain Pisgun.
What?
Yeah, Captain Pisgums. Some were sadists, some were masochists. Some just used to like to hang around with them. Hi, Captain. Mind you stick your peg in my eye?
He was a strange dude. Anyone
Yeah,
out
he
there?
was good.
Look
He
up
was
Crumb.
good.
Look up Crumb art by
Crumb.
Robert Crumb. Yeah, man, it's got the weirdest stuff.
Well, hey, that was fun. It was. I mean, it's a
It
good
was.
show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's have a round of applause for Mike Grief
Hey, everybody, be safe out there. We love you. All right, BBB.
and his childless tattoo, his unchildish tattoo, and Craig Mitchell, our Yoda, our guy who has to put the show together.
Remember, search for the Big Bad Broadcast on Spotify and Facebook.
And watch us on the BBBradio.com because we have all our old shows, past, present. And if you're a psychic, you can see the future ones also.
Right. Like
That's where Joe
Hey,
is. Joe's
and
watching a
guess
future
what?
episode.
Guess what? Next week, I'm going to hang out with the Ephesus.
Cool. Tell him I said hi.
Oh, cool. They watch that episode.
Was Craig with us when we did were you on the show when
Yeah.
we did the episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big discussion about maritime more. Anyway,
The
so
Ephesus are mentalists for you guys, and you can catch them on the show. They're the best in the world.
and next week we have Billy Gardell. We're gonna show that one again.
Sounds
Cool.
good. Sounds
All right, guys.
good. All right, guys. It was fun. So we'll see you next week. Actually, you'll see us. We won't see you.
Peace.
But we never see you.
You do when you hold up your little round thing and you look out into the audience.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's right. We
The
got to do that
magic-
again.
The magic mirror. It's still hanging right over there.
Get out the spinach.
Show us the
Oh,
Popeye.
I just put it
Listen.
away. I just put it
Oh
away.
no, we
'cause
want
I had
Popeye to say goodbye. Come on, there. The
Hey,
space.
I gotta get some of that, man. I never knew.
I never.
All right.
Please remember to like, subscribe and ring that bell. Thank you.